nice fall day for football. Let's check in with Pam Oliver down on the field. Pam.
Well, Sam, throughout his career, quarterback Kirk Cousins has been more methodical and plodding than he is aggressive, but the Vikings want him to find a happy medium. This week, wide receiver Adam Thielen, he came out and said it, that Cousins needs to start taking some shots. Head coach Mike Zimmer, he also said that he needs to think less and just go out and play. But the man himself, he maintains that formations and coverages play a big part in taking shots, and he's got to be smart making those choices. This season, Cousins has only attempted 10 passes that have traveled 20 yards or more. 27th in the league, Sam.
Thanks, Pam. They want to get that passing game in gear.
But they sure do, and Pam's report was so eloquent in it in terms of being very graphic about showing how they haven't pushed it downfield despite you have two receivers who are 1,000-yard guys.
Giants won the coin toss, elected to defer the kickoff through the end zone for a touchback, and there is Kirk Cousins in his second year as quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings after his long stint with the Washington Redskins. So he's played against the Giants. This will be his 9th game against the Giants. 3-5 lifetime. Look at the offensive line. Garrett Bradbury, the rookie center, has done a great job.
Now have to hold up against the inside pressure that the Giants will try and force on him.
Off the play fake, Cousins rolling and out of bounds around the 29. A pickup of 4 on the play. Giants defensively have to be concerned. Linebackers are injured. They've got 3 starting linebackers out of the lineup. Alec Ogletree, Ty Davis, and Lorenzo Carter.
Yeah, Nate Stupar will start inside number 45, but I don't expect him to be on the field that much. I expect Jabril Peppers to go inside and play a little more linebacker, and Michael Thomas come in as an extra safety.
Off the play fake again. Cousins holds on and completes it to Diggs. A first down up the 45-yard line. Diggs had a big game last week with receptions over 100 yards, but most of that came late against the Bears.
And how about the sight lines that Kirk Cousins has right here, Sam? You see Stephon Diggs right in front of him. I think he was looking inside to see what Thielen was doing first, but Diggs continued to be open, and he delivered the ball. This is a good idea, getting those receivers involved early in the game for Minnesota.
Thielen in motion, and the toss to Dalvin Cook. And a hit and a drop for a loss. Nice play by Jabril Peppers.
And if you notice, Sam, in our listings, we had Jabril Peppers at linebacker, not at safety today, because we expect him to play more of that. This is one of the reasons why. He hits like a linebacker. Look at him come up, knock Adam Thielen out of the way with a shoulder, and then take a second shoulder right into Dalvin Cook. Jabril Peppers, he brings the wood when he comes up from the safety position or the linebacker level.
Loss of a yard on the play, 2nd and 11. 3 wide receivers for the Vikings, empty backfield. Cousins gets time and completes it. Short pickup to Olabisi Johnson, rookie wide receiver out of Colorado State. Nate Stupar in on the tackle for the Giants.
Hey, Pam.
Yes.
I think that they heard you in pregame, didn't they?
I think they did.
With your
I think
report,
Cousins wants to come out here and really be aggressive. The Vikings desperately need him to do so.
well, you're spot on with what you had, because that's exactly what they're doing here in the early going.
Crowd gets loud. Here's a 3rd and 5. Blitz coming. Cousins on the move and completes it to Thielen inside the 40 to the 37. Good job by Cousins keeping the play alive and finding Thielen.
Listen, one of the things Cousins can do is maneuver and use his legs to keep plays extended and also pick out first downs with his feet. But what he's done even better here in the early going, and it's not that the Giants didn't anticipate it, Sam, because of the comments and the apology that he didn't get the ball to Adam Thielen last week, the Giants said, well, it's human nature.
Yeah.
You know, Antoine Bethea told us he's going to try and get it to them. Here in the early going, both of them have catches. They're both in the game as we get things started.
The fullback, C.J. Ham, leads the blocking for Dalvin Cook. Cook out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. A short pickup on the play. Give him 2 yards. Thielen, you see the numbers last year. I mean, he was rolling. 40 catches through the first 4 games. He's only caught 13. Had 2 catches last week against the Bears for 6 yards.
Yeah, and both he and Stephon Diggs, they don't just catch the underneath stuff. They can take it over the top and make big plays. They just want opportunities. And here in the early going, it looks like Kirk Cousins is going to give them to him.
On 2nd and 8, Cousins being rushed, throws a screen out to Dalvin Cook. Couple of blocks, breaks through, inside the 20, still on his feet, and brought down at the 13-yard line. Great run by Dalvin Cook. A good receiver out of the backfield, a gain of 22 on the play.
So how about here, Pat Elflein, number 65. He's going to watch him get out front. Now, look at him take on DeAndre Baker, the rookie first-round corner. He takes care of him, and Cook takes care of the rest of it, gets through the hole, and gets up a big play downfield.
Alexander Madison, the rookie out of Boise State, in at running back. 3 tight ends for the Vikings. Madison hit short of the line of scrimmage by Antoine Bethea, the veteran safety, who James Betcher, the defensive coordinator, telling us on Friday he just loves Antoine Bethea. Had him in Arizona.
Veteran presence, and also the veteran ability to come up and make a play, not just diagnose one. Because Antoine Bethea saw the play, but he actually made it as well. There's James Betcher, the defensive coordinator, known for his aggressiveness. The Vikings have him back on their heels here in the early going.
Madison in motion, 2nd and 11. Cousins being rushed, and down he goes. R.J. McIntosh with a sack.
I think that Cousins didn't get the snap cleanly to start. Bobbled a little bit, and I think it threw him, see right there? And it threw him off a little, and then McIntosh just pushed the pocket and came off of the left side from how you're watching it. But see how he bobbled it? That threw up the timing right away, and then McIntosh took care of the rest with an excellent pass rush and putting Cousins on the deck.
First sack of the season for McIntosh. Cousins was sacked 6 times last week. 3rd and 20. The handoff inside to Amir Abdullah. 3rd running back that the Vikings have used. They went to the run, the safe play, and that sets up a field goal try.
I don't know about you, Sam, but that feels like the head coach got on the headset and said, we're getting 3 out of this. Don't push anything. Don't take any chances in the red zone. Run the draw, and let's get 3 and turn it over to our defense. That did not feel like, hey, let's go ahead and let Kirk Cousins take a shot at the end zone. Run it, try and get the 3, and start over on D.
31-yard field goal try, Dan Bailey. Britton Colquitt, the holder. And the kick is inside the upright, and the Vikings take the opening kickoff. March down and put 3 on the board and lead the Giants 3-0. Play opening drive, 62 yards. They settled for a field goal. Cousins was 4 for 4 on that drive.
Everything you said there, Sam, exactly what Minnesota wants, other than the fact they kicked the field goal. But I feel like the field goal was ordered by the head coach on the 3rd down play. Tony Gonzalez on our Fox NFL kickoff show said, let Kirk Cousins be Kirk Cousins. They didn't let him be Kirk Cousins there because they took that out of his hands to make sure they got the 3.
Daniel Jones, the Giants rookie quarterback, standing by. The Giants, you see, they've been good to start games. 3 touchdowns and a field goal in the 4 games.
What did Pat Shurmur tell us in our meeting? You test your best stuff early that you think will work well in that game. You run your good plays early. That's what they've done. That's resulted in 3 touchdowns and a field goal to begin the season.
Corey Ballantyne taking a knee for the touchback, and here comes 22-year-old Daniel Jones in his 3rd start in the NFL, the number 6 pick overall in the draft. They have won 2 in a row, and that is an impressive stat for a rookie quarterback.
Certainly is, and it's certainly a different reception he's getting now than when it was on draft night in Nashville when he was announced, and to get Golden Tate back at receiver. Another guy could do serious damage after the catch.
Saquon Barkley still out. Wayne Gallman is the running back, the quick outside to Golden Tate. as the Giants welcome him back. A gain of 5 on the play. Minnesota defense, one of the best in the NFL. Danielle Hunter leads with 3 sacks. The linebackers, veteran, solid. And that secondary is outstanding. 2nd and 5. The fake to Gallman. Outside to Ingram, the tight end. That's a first down for the Giants. Up close to the 40-yard line. And shaking up on the play is Xavier Rhodes, the outstanding cornerback. And we'll step out for a moment.
And this is like a backside screen in basketball, except it's on his own teammate. Harrison Smith trying to fight over in man-to-man coverage, ends up running into Xavier Rhodes, their all-pro Pro Bowl corner, and Rhodes is going to have to go out for a little while. He'll be replaced by Mike Hughes, the second-year corner out of UCF. But when Harrison Smith hits you, you stay hit.
First down Giants from the 40. Gallman on the carry. Gets a couple of yards up to the 42-yard line. Mike Hughes was first-round draft pick last year for the Vikings, but suffered an ACL injury week 6.
Yeah, able to
missed
make
the rest of the season.
Yeah, able to make it back this year. Fortunately for them, was supposed to be the nickel today, but with Xavier Rhodes going out, he bounces out to the outside cornerback position. They are amazed at the progress he's made returning from that knee injury.
Jones gets hit as he throws, puts it up deep, and just misses on the attempt to Sterling Shepard. Shepard was wide open.
Here comes Linval Joseph, 98, and Anthony Barr, 55. They do everything with Barr. Rush him, drop him. He's all over the field, and this is a big-time missed opportunity because Sterling Shepard came so open. There had to be a bust in the secondary. Trey Waynes totally gets turned around. Shepard wide open. That's an opportunity. They're looking to film room and go, boy, should have been 6.
On 3rd and 7. Pressure on Jones as he's hit, and down he goes. Big sack, Anthony Barr there again. Back-to-back hits by Barr, and there's a flag down, and you hear the cheers.
Illegal contact, defense, number 41. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's on the safety, Anthony Harris.
And last week against the Bears, the Vikings were going to get off the field on the first drive of the game. The play, I believe, Mitchell Trubisky got hurt, and there was a hold on Anthony Harris in the secondary, kept the drive alive, and the Bears went back and scored. So look back deep. Let's take a look right in here. That's where it would have been.
From the 47, breaking through is Wayne Gallman with a good run for a first down to the Vikings 41-yard line. Gallman goes off, shaken up a little bit. Saquon Barkley back practicing with the Giants, getting close to returning, but still
12
out.
12 men on the defense. The penalties decline. Yardage gain is enough for a first down.
The Vikings have been very aggressive on defense to start this game. They really want to get off the field early and set a new tone. I mean, Harrison Smith blitz on play 1, the hitman, the safety. He blitzed the first play. Then they gave up another big play with the penalty to Anthony Harris. Otherwise, they would have been off the field.
The rookie out of Rutgers, John Hilleman, on the carry inside the 40 down to the 39. Hilleman actually started his college career at Boston College, then played his senior year at Rutgers last year.
He actually committed to Rutgers initially out of high school. They had a coaching change there, and then he decided to go to Boston College, then came back for his 5th year to play for the Scarlet Knights. An undrafted free agent, made the team and gave him good value in their last ball game against Washington.
Golden Tate in his Giants debut, number 15 in motion. Jones being rushed, puts it up deep for Cody Latimer, and it's incomplete. Covered by Mike Hughes. That was a good one-on-one battle.
Hughes played this textbook. Look at him looking at Latimer. Now he knows the ball's coming by the way Latimer's head goes back looking for the football. And Hughes gets his head around and makes a play on the football. Look at him. He's got him pinned to the sideline with his body, knows the ball's coming, locates it, and almost comes up with the interception.
Xavier Rhodes back in the game, number 29 at the bottom of your screen. Good news for the Vikings. On third down, Jones being pressured. Flag on the play, gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Good coverage on Hilliman by the linebacker Eric Kendricks. 2 flags in the Giants' backfield.
Back in the vicinity of holding against the Giants.
Holding. Offense, number 76. That penalty's declined. Brings up 4th down.
On the left tackle, Nate Solder.
Last 2 plays on defense, terrific for Minnesota. Mike Hughes pinning Latimer on the sideline, almost come with the interception. And then when Jones got out of the pocket on third down, a lot of times your defense breaks down because you lose receivers. Kendrick stayed glued, plastered himself to Hilliman, and made a play on the football.
Riley Dixon into punt. Marcus Sherrills back deep at his own 10-yard line. Pressure on Dixon, gets it away. The high kick toward the sideline, bounces at the 6, and the Giants down it at the 1. Cody Core was there to down it. Excellent punt, excellent coverage. Giants do not score on their first possession. Vikings start deep in their own territory with a 3-0 lead. Just across the 1-yard line. Fullback is in, C.J. Ham. Dalvin Cook cutting it back, doesn't get much. Jabril Peppers. What Peppers has upped his game.
Yeah, he's a safety.
Coming over.
Sam, he's a safety who's really playing like a linebacker, especially here in the early going. Watch the cutback by Cook. He thinks he might have a gap. But you talk about a perfect run fit, as defensive coordinators like to talk about. A run fit means everyone is in the spot they're supposed to be in the defense call. You leave no gaps. Jabril Peppers, he filled that gap effectively.
Once again, the handoff, cutting it back is Cook, and he's hit as he crosses the line of scrimmage, gets about a yard. Janoris Jenkins with the first hit. Giants playing without 3 starting linebackers. Alec Ogletree is out, Ty Davis out, Lorenzo Carter out, and James Betcher, the defensive coordinator, trying to fill the gaps. And Ryan Connolly, the rookie out of Wisconsin, was playing very well, went down with a knee injury.
Yeah, he had become a starter. He wasn't coming out of the lineup. Unfortunate to lose him there. Big third down here for the Giants defense.
Cousins out of the end zone, completes it, and gets a first down. That's a big play for the Vikings as Cousins connects with Adam Thielen.
So check out the coverage here. One of the things Mike Zimmer talked about with his defense last week is he didn't think that they played tight enough coverage in Chicago. The Giants would have been advised to have had a little bit tighter coverage there.
Yeah.
Things fell off too easily for them, Sam. Thielen able to establish himself, shuttled the ball to him. He found the first down marker.
First down at the 14, 3 tight ends in. The play fake by Cousins. He's got all kinds of time and then decides to throw it away. Nobody open. Let's check out what's going on around the league and go to Carissa Thompson.
Thanks so much, Sam. So 4th and 1, the Jets are going to go for it. Doesn't go as planned. Luke Falk picked off by Nathan Gary. Returned this one 51 yards. Eagles up 14-0. Sam, Charles, and Pat.
Thanks,
Carissa.
Sam and I are in stereo here.
Undermanned Jets don't have their starting quarterback. Sam Darnold still out.
Bottom line is they don't have a quarterback. Luke Falk, I don't think, is going to be up to the challenge.
Cousins, screen pass to Dalvin Cook. Slips 1 tackle. And another. Good run after the catch by Cook. Out of bounds, up close to the 30-yard line. It's a first down for the Vikings.
How about Dalvin Cook? He is all ball all the time. Watch 33. Now he gets out there, and David Mayo has got a chance right there. Gets away from him. Then he puts a move right there in Janoris Jenkins and puts his foot in the ground and gets upfield. Watch Jenkins. Head isn't up. Doesn't see what he's going to contact. See how he drops his head? That allows Cook to go ahead and force him all the way to the ground with a nice straight arm.
2 catches, 37 yards for Dalvin Cook. Cousins wanted to go deep, goes short instead to Diggs, and Stephon Diggs is brought down up the 37-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play.
Hey, Pam, you were talking about him being more aggressive to start this game. It still looks to me like they're trying to be aggressive, but the Giants are taking away on checkdowns. And on one play, they actually tried to get Kyle Rudolph involved on a backside throw.
Yeah, the Giants get paid as well, I think, with Kyle Rudolph. We talked to him in pregame. He's really doing a lot of blocking more than being in the passing game. So we'll see how this strategy holds out.
Cousins rolls wide open is Olabisi Johnson, the rookie wide receiver out of Colorado State, a 7th-round draft pick. And he's become the number 3 receiver.
7th-round pick, as you noted, Sam, and was actually the number 2 receiver to Preston Williams, now with Miami at Colorado State. So we're now seeing Kirk Cousins survey the defense and take what they're giving him.
Big hole for Alexander Madison. And the rookie running back gets down to the 20-yard line.
Well, watch this, guys. Watch this. Look at that. And now look at what you have here, because now what you've got is great vision for Alexander Madison. Because bidding upfield, they opened up a gigantic hole. And Josh Klein, number 64, back from a concussion, was one of the principal guys, their starting right guard.
An injured player on the field. Jabril Peppers was slow getting up, and he goes to the sideline. Vikings have their offense going. Kirk Cousins, 8 for 9 for 113 yards passing. And then Madison coming up with the 19-yard run.
So watch again, Sam. I mean, this is something with this offensive line. Stephon Diggs talking to Kevin Stefanski, the offensive coordinator. But watch how this offensive line moves this way. Watch Klein here. But watch when we hit a freeze rate. Look at that.
Wow.
All right, so all he's got is vision and open field and able to get up there. Look at Laquan Treadwell. Get up there, 11. Give him block out in front.
Ball at the 21-yard line. Thielen in motion. Vikings on the move. And they stop the play. False start.
False start. Offense, number 83. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's on the 3rd tight end, Tyler Conklin.
Mike Zimmer, I think, ordered the field goal on the draw play on the last drive, deep in territory. They looked like they were getting ready to take a shot there, Sam, before the false start. There's Kevin Stefanski, the offense coordinator. You saw Stephon Diggs talking with him a few moments ago. Probably telling him, I like where we're going today. Looks like you're trying to get us the football. I like that.
That's a happy wide receiver. They motion Conklin. Here's Cousins. Throwing short, completing it. And Dalvin Cook gets down to the 20-yard line. Bring up a 2nd down. We're inside of a minute to go in the first quarter. Jabril Peppers back in for the Giants. They bring in the fullback C.J. Ham with Dalvin Cook, the tailback. It's Cook. Led through the hole, slipped the tackle, fights his way down to the 15-yard line.
That looks like something we'd see on the college football noon kickoff show. We had 2 tights, a fullback, and a toss sweep. That looked like student body right out of old USC days with John McKay.
Vikings on the move. First quarter comes to an end. They have put pressure on the Giants defense. Vikings have had the ball twice. They lead 3-0 end of the first quarter. We are back. Minnesota's owned the football thus far in the game.
How about that, the time of possession, number of plays. This is Mike Zimmer football to a T.
This drive for the Vikings started officially at their own 2-yard line. There's 3rd and 4. Cousins with time. Into the end zone for Thielen. Touchdown. He beat Grant Haley on the play. And whatever disagreements Thielen might have had with Cousins, they're out the window.
Well, you did hear Kirk Cousins on his podcast apologize to him sitting right next to him. And, you know, old school quarterbacks wouldn't have done it that way. But so far, it is paying dividends. Adam Thielen just beat Grant Haley right off the line of scrimmage and created plenty of separation. What a good job by Kirk Cousins. Did you notice how he was looking to your left if you're sitting at home watching it, and then came back to your right? He held the safeties by looking the opposite way and came back and gave it to an open Adam Thielen. And these Vikings, when they do celebrations, they work on them.
Dan Bailey for the extra point. And the Vikings are up 10-0. They've had the ball twice in the game, and they've had 2 11-play drives and put 10 points on the board. That's a happy quarterback.
For nonverbal communication. That's Kirk Cousins looking to the left where Adam Thielen was stationed. Just letting him know, don't have to say a word. Be prepared, 19. And then he delivers. You know, the amazing part, Sam, everything Thielen said was spot on.
No.
It's just that most time we're used to that staying in locker room, not out. They've got to be able to throw the football to compete.
Corey Ballentine takes it out of the end zone. Good return, finds the lane. Ballentine to midfield. Outstanding return. C.J. Ham took him down. That's a 52-yard return for Corey Ballentine.
The rookie from Washburn University, home of the Ichabods. He was a Division II, Division III National Defensive Player of the Year, the Cliff Harris Award winner, and came out and joined the Giants and really gets them energized with a terrific return and great field position to start this drive.
Giants sprint to the line of scrimmage. And the handoff is to John Hilleman, who gets a 5-yard pickup on the play. We check in with Pam on what's going on with Wayne Gallman.
That's right. The Giants with only 2 healthy running backs, and one is a fullback, as you know. Running back Wayne Gallman is being evaluated for a concussion. He is back in the locker room. Eli Penny and rookie John Hilleman will be carrying the load.
Great observation there, Pam, about Eli Penny being the fullback. He might have to play some running back if things continue.
End around to the tight end, Evan Ingram, but he's brought down short of the line of scrimmage.
The thing about this Vikings defense is that they have played together for so long. They're so cohesive in understanding where assignments are. It's hard to get misdirection against them. It's hard to get plays that take a while against them. They run well, they read their keys well, and how about them holding on the backside? They didn't get them too aggressive running to the football.
3 wide receivers, Evan Ingram, the tight end in the slot. On 3rd and 5. All receivers out. Jones doesn't find anybody. Takes off and gets a first down. Down the 37-yard line.
And this is what Daniel Jones gives you, because watch Eric Kendricks, number 54, to your left of your screen when he takes off. He's got a shot at him, but Jones sees him coming and does a nice job nimbly cutting inside, and he understood exactly where the first down sticks were. And he ran and picked it up. That's the extra dimension that Daniel Jones gives this offense that's helping open things up.
Eli Penny in at running back for the Giants. Off the play fake. Jones throws to Ingram, and he's brought down at the 35. Carissa Thompson has an update for us.
Thank you, Sam. Bears Raiders in London. Derek Carr hands it off to rookie running back Josh Jacobs, who scores from 12 yards out. Raiders up 7-0. Sam, Charles, and Ken.
Thanks, Carissa.
It's an exciting young rookie out of Alabama, Josh Jacobs.
Yes, sir.
Didn't get as many carries as you would expect while in college. That bodes well for him in his pro future.
2nd and 8. Again, the play fake to Penny. Jones with time, goes for the end zone. And it is caught for a touchdown by Darius Slayton. A perfect throw and catch. The two rookies combine. Daniel Jones to Darius Slayton, the rookie out of Auburn.
And I loved your description there because it was a perfect throw and catch. Mike Zimmer upset on the sidelines with Xavier Rhodes. I wonder if Rhodes was supposed to be over there in help situation for the corner Mike Hughes, but in any event, let's just take it for what it was worth. Good protection for Jones in the pocket, and boy, did he deliver.
Waiting on the confirmation.
So look to the top of your screen. Slayton, the rookie out of Auburn, does a good job being physical, going past Rhodes. And Mike Zimmer upset that Rhodes let the rookie beat him. He's wondering if he was supposed to have had help there from the inside from Anthony Harris, but it's a nice job by Slayton getting up on top of Rhodes, and an even better job by Daniel Jones putting it out there. And Mike Zimmer telling him to get it together. Sam, do you remember this spring? Mike Zimmer said to Xavier Rhodes, you need to play up to your contract. You don't often hear that from a head coach. It's another example there. Let's get it going because he's supposed to be an all-pro.
The extra point by Aldrick Rosas is good. The Giants didn't score on their first possession. They scored on their second on the pass from Jones to Slayton.
Darius Slayton, the rookie out of Auburn, he's the receiver. Anthony Harris is the safety. But Xavier Rhodes is the Pro Bowl corner who gets beat off the line of scrimmage. And right there, what do receivers say all the time? If they get even with a defensive back, they are soon going to be leaving. And that's exactly what Slayton did with his 4.38 speed that he ran at the combine. And he runs past Rhodes, and a perfectly delivered ball by Daniel Jones.
Slayton's first NFL touchdown. The kickoff by Rosas through the end zone for a touchback. We go back to the field where Pam Oliver is standing by.
Yeah, Darius Slayton's his fellow wide receiver. I asked him this week why Daniel Jones' style of play is working. He said that he's able to get the ball out quickly, get it where it needs to go. Plus, he's that dual threat, and he can extend plays. He says receivers must keep their focus and stay alive.
Yeah, you're right about that, Pam. We've seen all of that. He keeps the play alive with his legs, as you said. And Sterling Shepard, who's now the leader of that young receiving corps, he put it to you pretty well, didn't he? That kid gets rid of the ball, and those kids are going and getting it.
I like that shot of Eli Manning talking with the rookie quarterback. Good job up front by the Giants. A problem with the snap by the Vikings.
Second time already today. The first time Kirk Cousins was able to get it. That was a bobble in there. He's working with the rookie center, Bradbury, number 56. And Bradbury has some pressure right over the nose, number 94, Dalvin Tomlinson. If there's one place that Garrett Bradbury will continue to improve, it's handling those big guys right on his nose, those power players, and Tomlinson is one of them.
Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12 for the Vikings. Cousins gets rid of it quickly to Olabisi Johnson, and he's pulled out of bounds up at the 29-yard line. Vikings' first 2 possessions of the game, 11 play drives.
The best part about both of them, Sam, they paid off in points.
Yeah.
Field goal on the first one, touchdown on the second. Here the Giants now have some momentum after the touchdown pass. It's a big third down on defense for them. O'Shane Ximines, number 53, the rookie. He's their best edge pass rusher. Let's see if he can get some action going here.
Rookie out of Old Dominion. On 3rd down, pressure on Cousins, and they got him. Second sack of the game for the Giants. Dexter Lawrence, the rookie out of Clemson, leading the way.
And what I should have said is he's really their second because Marcus Golden, the veteran who came over from Arizona, is a good edge rusher as well. But the best pressure the Giants are going to get this year will be from their inside guys. And Dexter Lawrence is going to be one of them.
Clete Blakeman is our referee.
Illegal use of hands, hands to the face, defense. Number 20. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Denoris Jenkins called on the penalty, and that negates a strong defensive effort by the Giants front.
Because that front is going to be effective for them if they're allowed to work. And look at Jenkins, number 20, and right there, you saw it as he grabbed the face mask, a little bit of digs. Pat Shurmur's incredulous, but when he watches the tape later, he will see the hand right in the face mask of Stephon Diggs. But what I meant about that front, Sam, Dexter Lawrence, the rookie out of Clemson, Dalvin Tomlinson out of Alabama, B.J. Hill out of NC State. When you're in a pass rush situation, those guys can come inside and work. There they are. Look at that. Look at all that beef right there. When they can work inside, that will make Ximenez and Marcus Golden off the edge that much more effective.
Spot the ball at the 33-yard line, and the Vikings have a 1st and 10. Kirk Cousins 11 for 12, 140 yards and 1 touchdown. A great start to the game for him.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Vikings' 3rd possession of the game. Dalvin Cook turns the corner and gets up to the 44-yard line. Good balance by Cook, staying on his feet to pick up a couple of extra yards. Dalvin Cook, he got off to a fabulous start. Last week, the Bears shut him down. I mean, the Bears defense has been really good. But those first 3 games, big numbers rushing. Cousins, all kinds of time. Throws, great catch by Thielen. Out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
The protection was so good that Kirk Cousins could wait for Adam Thielen to clear through traffic all the way across field to find an open zone in the dead spot of the Giants defense. But that was made available because of the Vikings offensive line and their pass protection. He had all day to wait and let Thielen clear.
And Cousins is letting it fly. That's a 28-yard pickup off the play fake. Cousins with time, throws and completes to Irv Smith Jr., the rookie tight end, who was sent flying. There's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. We'll check that out.
That's the referee and the umpire conferring.
Holding. Offense. On the 65. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
The left guard, Pat Elflein, called for the hold because that wipes out a good pickup.
Because it looked clean to the front side. Brian O'Neill 75, Josh Klein 64. On the front side, it looked clean. So the call is on the backside to the left. The guard Elflein 65 in white. And he's working there against Tomlinson. You see a hand inside, looks like he's grabbing some jersey, and there was a hand outside the frame on Tomlinson's back. That's where the call came.
Ball back to the 38-yard line. 1st and 20 for the Vikes. And the pass caught by Olabisi Johnson, who's having himself a good game. Vikings with a 10-7 lead on the Giants.
What's interesting is how this ball is being spread by Kirk Cousins as well. Able to get it to a number of receivers, but there's one receiver who hasn't caught a ball yet. I'm still mystified why he's not a bigger part of the pass offense. That's Kyle Rudolph, their tight end.
Big tight end.
He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, excellent pass catching skills. Not seeing the ball here in the early part of the season.
They love the other tight end, Irv Smith. He got rid of it to Dalvin Cook. Cook gets back to the line of scrimmage. The 30-yard line. Jabril Peppers made the tackle. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Have to get to the 18 for a 1st down. 2 tight ends in. Rudolph in tight. They split out. Irv Smith Jr. Cousins puts it up deep for Diggs. And no flags on the play. He was covered by the rookie DeAndre Baker.
And you can sense the thinking of Kevin Stefanski, the offensive coordinator, and Kirk Cousins, the quarterback. Let's test the rookie out with our highly motivated receiver who's been upset he hasn't gotten the ball enough lately. And Baker does a terrific job staying inside. They're both hand fighting. So if anyone wants to throw a flag on hands on each, well, they're on each other. And I appreciate the officials there letting them both play and keeping the flag in their pocket.
48-yard field goal try for Dan Bailey. Out of the hold of Colquitt. And it is off the upright and through. Just a little bit of a draw, but it stayed true, and the Vikings have a 13-7 lead. Aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm. Sam Rosen, Charles Davis, Pam Oliver, here at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Kirk Cousins having a strong game, 14 for 16. Vikings with a 13-7 lead. Dan Bailey kicks it off. Corey Ballantyne started to cut. He was thinking about it and then said, no, I'll take a knee. This week starts Saturday strong with a big noon Saturday game of the week. Heisman frontrunner Jalen Hurts leads number 6 Oklahoma against number 11 Texas in one of the best rivalries in all of college football, the Red River Showdown. It all starts with a big noon kickoff pregame show at 10 a.m. Eastern on Fox and Fox Sports app. That's a big game.
It's a huge game. Two big quarterbacks there. Maybe the first of two meetings this year in the Big 12. This one and the Big 12 title game.
Giants start from the 25 with John Hilliman at running back. Wide open and the completion. Sterling Shepard with his first catch of the game. Pick up to the 33-yard line, a gain of 8 on the play.
Sam, when Daniel Jones goes home tonight, he'll have that natural exhaustion from playing a game, but he'll have an extra element because he's going against a Vikings defense that likes to disguise, show they're in one spot, get to another. And so far, this youngster, his poise shines through, not rattled by anything in the early going.
A delayed handoff and nothing doing on that one. That was Hilliman. Let's get a game break from Kurt Menefee in L.A. Kurt.
All right, Sam, in London, it's the Raiders rolling right now over the Bears. DeAndre Washington, 3-yard score. Second rushing touchdown of the day for Oakland. The Bears have given up 1 rushing touchdown for their first 4 games. It's 14-0. Let's get it back to you, Sam.
Hey, Kurt, I'm wondering if the Bears' energy can't through customs yet. Remember, they went out a lot later this week. The Raiders went out early in the week.
You know, there's no magical formula, Charles.
There's not.
Tough to figure. Sterling Shepard with a good grab and a first down, Giants at the 41-yard line.
And do you know when you see catches like this? When receivers have a lot of confidence in their quarterback, when they will sell out and go catch everything. Look at Sterling Shepard reaching out, extending himself to make that catch. They are really excited about what Daniel Jones is bringing to their squad.
Hilliman getting a big opportunity. Wayne Gallman out with a concussion. That's the word from the Giants sideline. Saquon Barkley already out. We mentioned him. Giants have another game in 4 days, Thursday night against the New England Patriots.
Yeah, have to go on the road for that one. But as Pam Oliver outlined earlier, what their strategy will have to be is Hilliman will carry the load, and Eli Penny, their starting fullback, will take some running back plays too.
Penny in, try to pick up the blitz. Jones' pass is almost intercepted. Great effort by Harrison Smith. The safety came over and almost picked it off.
Remember the touchdown pass to Slayton?
Yep.
Anthony Harris, the other safety, was in the vicinity but didn't quite get over there. He's battling a quad injury. He may not be as fast today as he normally is. Similar play there. Slayton again involved with Xavier Rhodes, but who shows up? The fixer, number 22, Harrison Smith, shows up all over the place on this Vikings defense, makes a play on the ball and knocks it away.
3rd and 7 for the Giants. They pressure Jones. He rolls and throws, and that time it is picked off by Mike Hughes. No, dropped the ball, excuse me. A great effort by Hughes. The pass incomplete.
And how about what Eric Kendricks did? Watch him on the pass rush, but watch him understand that Jones might exit, so he goes ahead and mirrors him. And he's going to dance with Jones outside, so Jones can't run for it. Has to try and deliver, and the coverage was strong downfield.
Marcus Sherrills back deep for the Vikings. Riley Dixon Big, high punt bounces inside the 5 and into the end zone for a touchback. 5:13 to go in the first half. The Vikings with a 13-7 lead. Good effort by the former first-round draft pick Hughes. Vikings offense has looked very good this first half.
You think the conversations back in Minneapolis centered around trying to get things kick-started? It worked.
False start. And the Vikings upset with a call.
I think Kyle Rudolph might have been backing off to go in motion.
False start. Offense. Number 82. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
See, he was trying to back off the line of scrimmage to get ready to go in motion. And if he's in a 2-point stance there, we see that in the game all the time. Where a guy takes a step back, reestablishes, then he takes off and goes in motion. They never gave him the opportunity. Watch, he's got a 3-point stance, and he comes up, and that might be it. He's in a 2-point stance, he's good.
That time Rudolph motioned again, play fake by Cousins. He throws and wide open, completes to Thielen who breaks a tackle. Thielen turns it into a big gainer. And then he runs into Janoris Jenkins just short of the Giants' 40-yard line. 44-yard pickup.
You know, I talked with Adam Thielen's college coach last year, John Hofner, at Minnesota State. He told me he's like Wayne Gretzky. After he catches the ball, he knows where everyone else is on the field. Now watch as he's looking and noticing and motioning going through the secondary.
Dalvin Cook on the carry inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line.
So the eyes tell you everything. Look at Cousins. I've got him on the intermediate route. Look at him. He's fired up there. Got the tongue between his teeth, and I'm delivering. Now watch Thielen. He's going to find everyone. Notice where they are on the field. Look at the eyes moving, looking, understanding where the traffic is coming from. Here comes the tackler. Make him miss. Coach Hofner, you told me the truth about him. It's a lot like Gretzky, understanding where people are.
The handoff to Cook, and the whistles blow, and the flags fly again. There was a false start on the play. Thielen making up for last week. 5 catches.
Offense. Number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
It's on the right tackle, Brian O'Neill. Thielen 5 catches, 110 yards here in the first half.
Well, Kirk Cousins apologized to him on his podcast with him sitting right next to him. He's a man of his word. Told him I missed you, but hey, and look at the pass distribution. Now 6 players have been targeted, 4 have catches, and look how the ball's been spread around with the rookie Olabisi Johnson getting involved.
2nd and 11. Thielen motions, and the pitch to Cook. Short gain just across the 40-yard line down at the 39. Pickup of 2 on the play. It'll be a 3rd and long for the Vikings.
We did list Jabril Peppers with the linebackers in the opening lineups. I think we were onto something because he has been involved in the running game and active, Sam. Just about every running play, 21 in blue, is around the ball.
Time of possession lopsided in favor of the Vikings. Over 18 minutes. Giants 8.5 minutes. But still, it's a 6-point game. Amir Abdullah in the backfield for the Vikings. Cousins throwing and completing. That's a first down to Thielen inside the 30.
And Sam, he took the shot. And what I mean by that is, been a lot of discussion about Kirk Cousins being so risk averse that if he doesn't see him open, he doesn't take the throw. In this case, he's covered quite well. Is that Jenkins? Who was right on top of him. And he takes the shot and puts the ball to the sideline, and Thielen able to come up with it. That's a nice throw by Kirk Cousins.
That's what Coach Zimmer said. Pam talked about it right at the top. Go back and let it fly. And that's what he's doing. Dalvin Cook takes a hit, bounces off Mayo, and gets inside the 25. Let's go to Carissa Thompson for an update. Carissa.
Thanks, Sam. Saints trailing 7-0 against the Bucs when Teddy Bridgewater will find Michael Thomas for this 14-yard score. Thomas, like Thielen, having a day. 5 catches, 94 yards. Bucs had a field goal. We're all tied up. Sam?
Drew Brees started throwing this week.
Yeah, that was big news. Big news, not just in the Bayou, but big news around the NFL. But Teddy Bridgewater, if I'm not mistaken, is undefeated since Drew Brees has gone out.
That's a pretty good team they have down in New Orleans.
There's the brain trust there. Kevin Stefanski, the offensive coordinator, talking to Kirk Cousins. And there's Adam Thielen. And you alluded to it earlier, Sam, how things have jumped up for Adam Thielen from last week to just here in the first half this week. That's a game for most people, 6 for 121.
Yeah, big game.
Remember last season, Adam Thielen had 9 games in the regular season over 100 yards. He wants to get back to that, and they've done it so far today.
He's a special receiver, and no doubt about that. And that combination of Thielen and Diggs has been outstanding. And a crazy week for Diggs and the Vikings this week. There's Dalvin Cook, big hole. He's inside the 10 and down inside the 5. The ball came loose. Jabril Peppers knocked it loose. Giants recover.
Here's Cook late. And from the back, Jabril Peppers, who's been outstanding in this ball game, makes another heady play and comes down with a chop move and knocks it free. And I believe the veteran Antoine Bethea, 41, corralled him first. He did from the backside. There's the chop and the punch. And we're seeing a lot of that, aren't we, guys? Guys coming up with a balled fist to have the strength to knock the ball free. And the Giants defense, they may be backed up, but they didn't give up a touchdown and never gave up on the play. Great hustle by Peppers.
And you mentioned it earlier, Peppers has been involved in just about every defensive play.
He walked by me at practice the other day. His shins have muscle. This guy is put together now. And boy, does he hustle and play with great emotion. But I think he's much more comfortable now with being with the Giants back home in New Jersey and in this defense. And starting last week, now those plays that he's making, not just tackles, Sam. Now he's making plays that turn the game.
Mike Zimmer upset. His team was driving in for a score. Giants at the 1-yard line. Their own 1. Blitz coming. And a safety. Anthony Barr, the linebacker, busting through.
And Sam, this is called, watch this Vikings line. Watch everybody approach the line of scrimmage and get up there. A lot of times on defense, what you call is mug the line of scrimmage, get a safety, all right? It'll actually be called, meaning knife upfield. Don't just play straight up. Get in the gaps and get upfield and try and make a play. And Anthony Barr came through, turned those shoulders with that 5.5 and slid through there and was right there to greet the runner. Yeah. And now the safety is a result of it.
So the Vikings defense responds with a huge play. And the lead is now 15-7, and the Vikings will get the football.
And think about the people here in the New York, New Jersey area who for a moment thought Anthony Barr was going to be wearing Jets green this year.
Oh, yeah.
Instead,
he backed out of that deal.
He shows up back
re-signed with the Vikings.
Yes, and Dalvin Cook, he's got to go over and give them a little bit of dap. Thanks a lot, guys. You took care of me, and now the Vikings will get the ball back.
Free kick, and the punter, Riley Dixon, boots it away. And the return, Marcus Sherrills. He is hit short of the 40-yard line. Wow, what a turn. The Vikings were driving in when Dalvin Cook fumbled and the Giants recovered.
And then the very first play, look at Barr, 55 in white, knifes right there, and he's right there with Harrison Smith, 22, 42, Ben Gedeon. All of them had the opportunity to make the play. Barr just managed to get there first and get the credit.
The Giants,
look at that group
short
right
at
there.
running back, and don't want to put the blame on Hillman on that play. Certainly the
Walter Payton wouldn't have gotten that zone on that. Okay, that was like a jailbreak in there.
Off the fake, Cousins throws the screen to Kyle Rudolph, the tight end. His first catch of the game, and he's across the 40, down at the 41. We've reached the 2-minute warning with 1:55 to go in the first half. Vikings with possession. feels like they've had the ball the entire first half.
It certainly does, and they're only up 15-7, which is a credit to the Giants making some plays along the way. But look at that, 19-31 in possession. They feel like they should have more points.
From the 41, pressure, screen pass to Dalvin Cook. Room to run. Got by Bethea. Is brought down by Mayo, but into Giants territory at the 35-yard line. Boy, he's a good all-around back, Dalvin Cook.
You got some good help. Watch as they get out here with the linemen, but at the same time, watch the acceleration when he gets to the perimeter. Nice job by Bradbury cutting down Haley, number 34. And then look at him turn it upfield. And then the Jets come into play. And there's the ball with the 4 points of pressure, trying to keep it attacked to his body.
Gain of 23 on the play. First down, Vikings. Thielen motions. Cook, big hole on the left side. Excuse me, that was Amir Abdullah who came in for Dalvin Cook. Gets down to the 20-yard line. Good run, 15-yard pickup.
Okay, take a look, take a look, take a look. Now, look at what Abdullah is seeing right there because of all those guys blocking and married up. Nice job by the O-line.
And again, Amir Abdullah. This time he's hit short of the line of scrimmage.
Flip it around there, Sam. Nice job by the Giants front. That was number 72, Olsen Pierre, making a nice play.
Timeout on the field. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, we'll see if the Jets and Skins can get their first wins of the season. And the Ravens take on the Steelers in an important AFC North matchup. It's Week 5 on the Visa halftime.
They want to leave you hanging, bub.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
All right, Kurt, Terry, Howie.
There goes Pat Elflein out of the ball game. So is that going to be Dakota Dozier, number 78, I believe, coming in, who started for Elflein earlier this year in a game at Green Bay. Then last week started for Klein at right guard in their game at Chicago.
In this situation, the Minnesota player, number 65, was injured on the play. Therefore, New York will get its timeout back, and Minnesota will be charged with its first timeout.
There's a little bit of a change in the timeout situation.
Shouldn't be a big deal for Minnesota with 1:18 on the clock and where they are and understanding how to maneuver. They want to try and bleed it down. If it's up to Minnesota, scores, the clock hits triple zeros. I mean, that's the goal at this point. Don't give the ball back to New York. The rookie tight end Irv Smith split all the way at the top with his agility.
He's a good receiver. Cousins throwing short. Dalvin Cook out of the backfield. Turns the corner inside the 10 and out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Again, once he gets his hands on the football, he is so dangerous.
Watch Cook get into the middle here and watch him fight. Now watch this. He's going to free stoop our 45, and now he kicks into high gear. Gets lateral against DeAndre Baker, who loses his leverage as the corner. He should be coming from outside in. But Dalvin Cook essentially just outran that leverage to give the ball down inside the 3.
First and goal, Cousins rolls. Being chased by Marcus Golden and throws it away. Dalvin Cook has 134 yards from scrimmage here in the first half.
And as strong as he's been running it, it would not surprise me at all if the Vikings went with a little bit of zone read, fake it inside, let Kirk Cousins dance to the edge. He has scored, what, 15 touchdowns in his career with his feet? He is capable of doing it.
Second and goal for the Vikings. 3 wide receivers left. The toss to Dalvin Cook. And he's brought down on a great tackle by Grant Haley. Cook was just about to turn that corner. And Haley with an excellent tackle.
So watch, you're going to get Diggs coming here, and that's supposed to be the misdirection. But Haley just comes right through because he doesn't buy Diggs going to the backside, stays right with his assignment, shoots the gap, and puts Dalvin Cook down. See, look at Reef. He's out there looking for someone to block, doesn't see Haley inside. Nice play by the nickelback out of Penn State. Haley was glad he didn't see him either. You don't want to take on a big offensive lineman, but that's a smart, heady play by number 34 in blue.
3rd and goal for the Vikings at the 3-yard line. Thielen and Diggs to the right. Empty backfield. Cousins with time. Can't find anybody. The Giants find him. Dexter Lawrence leads the way with a sack. Giants' 3rd sack of the game.
I know the Vikings are moving the ball, but back-to-back drives, the Giants force a fumble as the Vikings are going in, and now they force a field goal attempt because of all the work back here. Look at the guys in the end zone. Look where the blue is, where the Giants are. You can't find the white coming open, and neither can that guy, number 8, Kirk Cousins. So he tries to move, never threatens the line of scrimmage, and because the secondary holds firm, that allows the rush to get there. Was that Dexter Lawrence?
Yes.
The rookie out of Clemson, number 97, who stays on the field in pass rushing situations as an inside rusher.
32-yard field goal try for Dan Bailey. He is 2 for 2 in the game, 5 for 6 this season. Field goal is good, and the Vikings lead it 18-7. We'll be right back after this message from Farmers. We are back where the Minnesota Vikings in this first half, their offense has been close to unstoppable.
Yeah, and they've, you know, the great play by Jabril Peppers to knock the ball free from Dalvin Cook when he was getting close to the goal line. Nice stand here on the 3rd down pass by the Giants defense. They're battling and keeping them in it. And through the early part of the season, that's been where the big problems have been for the Giants on the defensive end. They've gotten better over the last couple of weeks. They're keeping them in the ball game.
Giants with 47 seconds remaining in the half get the football. They will get the ball to start the second half. That kickoff by Bailey is through the end zone for a touchback. And watching Kirk Cousins perform in this game is a real big bounce back. He's responded to all the pressure that he might have felt during the week.
Yeah, he certainly has, and I think he's taken some of the criticism to heart. And while his personality is to be much more of the pleaser and agreeable, he is playing this game today like he has something to prove to his teammates and to all those who are criticizing. I think that's going well for him.
Blitz coming on the draw play. No gain for John Hilliman. Gain of a yard. Fans getting a little restless with the Giants going on the ground here. Now Jones being rushed, and down he goes. And that's some of the disguise you talked about. The Vikings tough to pick up that blitz.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the disguise there. It's just Ifeadi Odenigbo just came free. I mean, that was too easy for him. Really didn't have to defeat much. Watch how quickly he comes through there. Quickly defeats the block of number 75, the center, John Halapio, and he's right there almost on the snap for Daniel Jones.
Vikings called a timeout with 17 seconds remaining.
Hey, they're hoping to get one more shot. You know, you never know. You throw one up at the end. Who knows? Maybe you force a play here.
I would think the Giants will play it safe here. Backed up inside their 15.
Screen.
It goes screen pass to Hillman, and he's brought down short of the 20-yard line.
And that was Odenigbo again, number 95, the defensive lineman, rushing the passer and then fanning out to take down the ball carrier after the screen.
The Vikings use their last timeout. Coming up, the Visa halftime report. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Tony in the studio. A look at the Ravens and Steelers. That's always a classic battle. And the Jets going against the Philadelphia Eagles.
If you're Sherrills, you probably want to fair catch this one and save time.
Sherrills on the return. Cross midfield, out of bounds at the Giants' 44-yard line. with 1 second remaining.
And how about the first half for Kirk Cousins? Came in, and you mentioned it, Sam, a ton of pressure. Pam Oliver talked at the top of the game how he hadn't taken very many shots downfield. He's been much more aggressive in this game, and he made good on his promise to his receiver, Adam Thielen. And while he didn't actually say it, he meant it for Stephon Diggs and all the rest of them. Time for me to get you the football when you're open, and he's done that here in the first half. And now he'll get one more chance to throw one deep into the end zone.
Cousins 19 for 22, 278 yards in the first half.
And all the Giants,
Giants back deep.
Really deep back there defending the goal line.
Cousins steps up and lets it fly to the end zone. The jump ball is batted down. And that's the end of the first half. The play of the first half is presented by DirecTV. More for your thing, that's our thing. Kirk Cousins to Adam Thielen. Great catch by Thielen, who's had a big first half. Kirk Cousins leading the way for the Vikings, who lead the Giants 18-7 at halftime. We'll be right back. Today's game flow brought to you by Progressive. Big first half for Dalvin Cook. The Vikings kick off to start the second half. And Valentine lets it go through the end zone for the touchback. And the Giants come on the field. They need to hold on to the football for a while. The possession battle has been totally one-sided for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, the halftime was good for the Giants defense. They were on the field a lot in the first half, but they made some plays that have kept them in it. The Giants offense struck with a touchdown in the first half. This is a big possession here to start it, because guess what? After Minnesota dominated the first half, if the Giants score a touchdown here, they are right back in it.
They had a big comeback in their game in Tampa in the second half. Quick start. Sterling Shepard takes the pass, goes out of bounds. At the 30, we go to the sideline to Pam Oliver.
Hey, Sam, Pat Sherman told me at halftime that we need to do a better job getting the mix of run and pass. He says we need to also avoid obvious drop-back situations. Defensively, simple as this, get off the field. Mike Zimmer, meantime, he says I got to do a better job mixing up our coverages. They're getting some shots on us. He does like his mix of run and pass. Back to you.
Thanks, Pam. The handoff is to Ingram, the tight end on the end around, and he's out of bounds very close to the first down. Less than a yard short. Third and about half a yard.
Sam, he's the perfect example of today's tight end that the NFL is getting from college football. They're really wide receiver who may be in a slightly bigger frame, but the way Evan Ingram can run like a receiver, you can do wide receiver plays with him. You can hand the ball to him, as we just saw there on end arounds. There's not much he can't do, and he creates a lot of big plays with his ability to make plays downfield, running in the seams.
As we saw in practice Friday, a lot of deep balls thrown his way. Quarterback sneak by Daniel Jones for the first down. Jones 6'5", 220, using his size to get the first down. Look at the numbers in the first half. Two Minnesota Vikings have more yardage than the entire Giants team in the first half.
But it's still only an 18-7 game. You know, all that yardage hasn't translated into the amount of points that you would expect the Vikings to have at this stage. The Giants are still right there.
Right. Ben Gideon, the linebacker, came off the field to be checked out. Eric Wilson replaces him, third-year man out of Cincinnati. Kirk Cousins, who had the huge first half, passing for 278 yards. On first down, the play fake. Jones gets time, And connects to Slayton. His second catch is a late flag that came in. And we'll check that. The completion up to the 48-yard line.
This might be a horse collar at the end of the tackle by Xavier Rhodes.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense, number 29. So 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
That's a big penalty on Xavier Rhodes.
So two good things happen here for the Giants. One, watch how Slayton stays with the route. He's covered, but he works his way back to his quarterback and keeps Rhodes on his back so he can't get around him to make a play on the ball. That's well done by the rookie from Auburn. Then you see the horse collar. It started up high. If it just gets into the nameplate, that's what they call. See where his hand is in the nameplate where it says Slayton? That's where the penalty came from.
Giants sprint to the line of scrimmage. John Hilleman on the carry. Hilleman is going to carry the running load with Wayne Gallman out with a concussion. Shamar Stephen made the tackle, the defensive tackle for the Vikings, number 93.
And Sam, you just made a nice observation there in what the Giants are doing. Watch how they break the huddle. And let's see if they do it again, how they get up there quickly and then line up. They don't do it as quick this time, but if the previous two plays, it's like they sprinted to the line of scrimmage and got the snap off quickly.
Three wide receivers in for the Giants. Jones gets rid of it quickly. Short pickup as he connects with Evan Ingram. Ingram has caught passes now in 30 consecutive games. Become one of their key offensive weapons.
All he's had to do is stay healthy, and that was the key for him. Once he has health, he becomes that guy. Remember, he came into this game leading the Giants in catches and yardage. And that play he made at Tampa, where he made the catch and got to the corner and accelerated, wow. 75-yard touchdown in that one.
Third down and 4. Ingram motions. Jones, wide open is Sterling Shepard. He's got a first down, gets down to the 20-yard line. Mike Hughes pulled him down. 11-yard pickup for the first down for the Giants.
Look at Shepard. Nice move off the top and created the separation from Mike Hughes with the inside move and then got to the sideline. And then look at him with the straight arm there. Look like dueling straight arms as Hughes tries to grab him and Shepard goes by.
Fourth catch of the game for Sterling Shepard. On first down, Jones throws to Ingram. Inside the 10 and down to the 6-yard line. Jones' release has been real quick.
Sharp, compact, on point, exactly what they look for. And look at them, they're going to get right to the line of scrimmage right now and get ready to play.
On first and goal. Jones throws outside of Ingram, juggles, and is dropped for a loss. Trey Waynes, the left cornerback, brought him down.
The Vikings
Darius Slayton on the catch.
Sorry, Sam. The Vikings want to substitute, but they're almost afraid to send guys off the sideline now because of the Giants' ability to jump right back up on the line of scrimmage and play. They had a couple guys they were thinking about sending in, and then they held them because there was a little indecision about whether the Giants would jump up on the line of scrimmage, and then the Vikings would have too many men on the field.
Two tight ends to the right, the former Viking Red Ellison in the game, number 85. Shepard on the end around, that's a loss of 2. Vikings defense back-to-back stops for losses.
And they saw that play with Ingram earlier in this drive. This time they use Shepard, and they don't tumble to it at all. Nice job on the corner by Trey Waynes, taking out Ellison, the blocker, which allowed Kendricks, number 54, to come through free, and he doesn't miss too many in the open field.
That brings up a third and goal from the 10-yard line.
And it's so hard to move against this Vikings defense. You're disappointed if you have to settle for a field goal.
Jones, pressure, throws deep, and incomplete. Leaping grab by Sterling Shepard, but he came down out of bounds across the end line.
And as accurate as Daniel Jones has been, this might have been his most inaccurate pass, even though it looks good. Why? Shepard was pretty well open. He just got to stick that one on him. That ball goes up high. Shepard has to make a circus catch, and can't get the second foot down. Not many things to nitpick about this youngster's performance so far, but that would be one of them right there. It's a missed opportunity in the end zone. He's just got to stick it right on Shepard, and it's 6.
28-yard field goal try for Aldrick Rosas. Riley Dixon, the holder. The kick is through. Rosas 4 for 5 on field goals this season. The Giants cut into the Vikings lead, but there was a flag on the play. Let's check it out here. Referee Clete Blakeman going over to Pat Shermer, who asked him what he wants to do here.
Had a nice chat with Clete in pregame. He and his crew were off last week. So I said, fresh legs, huh? Ready to go.
Not too many off days for the officials.
No, look, even when they're off, they're not off. They're always thinking about the game, too.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense. With a hit against the center. So penalties half the distance to the goal line. First down, New York.
What a break for the Giants.
So Diassi snaps the ball, and then after the snap, he gets buried. That's 98, that's Linval Joseph.
The former Giant.
And he absolutely buried Zach Diassi. Remember, the center has that protection because his head's down snapping the football. They like to keep people off of it. But watch the middle, watch Diassi 51, and right there is Linval Joseph taking out Diassi, and that created a foul and first and goal for the Giants.
So they take the 3 points off the board. First and goal. Jones still has it, and he is wrapped up by Hunter. Danielle Hunter with his 4th sack of the season.
And how about the poise of this Vikings defense after that penalty? A lot of guys get their heads down. They're upset that the penalty went against them. Thought they were off the field. The coverage is good, so he has to pull the ball down. And that allows Hunter to engulf him and finish off the play.
A loss of 10 on the play. Moves the ball back to the 15. 2nd and goal for the Giants.
Haven't had Golden Tate involved in a while.
They motion Shepard. Jones throws the screen pass to Ingram, and he's down at the 10 and a flag on the play. Shamar Stephen with the tackle. And the penalty against the Giants.
Ineligible man downfield. Offense, number 75. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
That's the center, John Halapio.
The Halapio snaps the ball. Let's see where he gets. They're sifting, and now the play is taking a little bit longer. And look at these guys downfield. See, in the college game, you can throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage and the lineman can get downfield. It's supposed to be 3 yards. They're pretty liberal with that in the college game. The NFL, they give you the 1 and no more than that. But I think the timing got thrown off a little bit on the play. And for the linemen, they're trying to hold their horse. It's tough for them to do. If you don't hit it in the right timing, they will drift downfield. Mike Zimmer takes the yardage on that one, doesn't he? Make it 2nd down again.
Ball back to the 20-yard line. 2nd and goal for the Giants at the 20-yard line. Empty backfield. Jones in trouble. Got rid of it. It's up in the air. It's out of bounds. Incomplete. Danielle Hunter with more pressure.
Even if you don't get the sack, you can affect the play. And that's what all good teams talk about, affecting the quarterback in the pocket. Can we get him off his spot? Can we make him pump fake and bring it down? Can we make him move? In that case, they pretty much did all 3. And he had nowhere to go, but it was nice poise by the youngster out of Duke. Just throw it away, live for the next down.
This is still the first possession of the 2nd half. 3rd and goal for the Giants at the 20. Hilliman splits out wide to the right. Jones throwing short to Ingram. And he's tackled. Good tackle on the play by Everson Griffin.
And how about the play by Everson Griffin on this one? Watch the defensive end who senses it. He gets upfield for the rush, but he felt Ingram push him past him. Did you see how Ingram was blocking him, Sam, where he gave him that extra push? And that was almost a tip-off to Everson Griffin, like, oh, he wants me past here. Immediately turned back, and with hustle, makes a nice play on Ingram to force the field goal attempt for the second time.
This is where we were a few minutes ago. Field goal try, 32 yards is good. So the Giants got a chance to put it in the end zone. A couple of losses, a penalty hurt them. They settled for 3. The Vikings lead 18-10. The Giants' possession and drive lasted 7 minutes, 25 seconds. That's virtually half the quarter.
A positive for the Giants. They got the 3 out of it, but it's really playing Minnesota football. Minnesota's still up 8. Okay, they only gave up the field goal, and a lot of time went off the clock. That's exactly what Zim would want to do on offense. It just happened in reverse to him.
Rosas kicking off. Amir Abdullah will return from the goal line. He's got a lane. Broke 1 tackle and is brought down up at the 33-yard line. Minnesota Vikings had a huge first half. In fact, the 351 yards are the second most by any team in the NFL in the first half this season.
Yeah, Baltimore in week 1 against Miami, 389. I'm not even sure what they finished with. It felt like 1,000 that day. It was a rough day. But here's Minnesota vowing to be more aggressive on offense. They've lived up to it here in this game.
Dalvin Cook is the running back. 3 receivers left. Now they motion Thielen, who had 121 yards in the first half. Cousins throwing short through that sidearm. The catch was made by the fullback, C.J. Ham, who was brought down. No game on the play. In the lineup is Josiah Toafa for the Giants, number 48. He was brought up from the practice squad this week.
The rookie out of University of Texas San Antonio. He actually led the Giants in tackles in preseason. That's a really nice play there. Cousins was fortunate. That could have been a big play for the Giants. Tawaefa was just about a step away.
On second down, it's Dalvin Cook, and the Giants stop him for a short game. Carissa Thompson standing by with an update.
Thank you so much, Sam. So the Bears were down 17-7 in the third. Chase Daniel buys some time and finds Allen Robinson for this 4-yard score, only down by a field goal. Sam?
Thanks, Carissa. Chase Daniel doing a good job with Mitch Trubisky out.
Last year was 1-1 as a starter with Trubisky out. One of those losses.
After the play,
loss was here in New York.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 27. Penalties 15 yards from the end of the run. First down, Minnesota.
The rookie, DeAndre Baker.
So plays down, essentially over. So what they're calling there is the standing over the top. You know, the league really cracked down on that a few years ago with the appearance of taunting, whether you are or not. And that's where he draws the flag. And those kind of flags you cannot have. All right, so he said something there. He stood over the top of him, and that hurts his defense in a big way.
A rookie mistake. Vikings first down at midfield. 3 flags come flying. Vikings point at the Giants.
False start. Offense, number 75.
But it's the
Penalty.
Vikings.
Still first down.
The right tackle, Brian O'Neill, called for the false start. That's the Vikings' 4th false start of the game.
Young man's off to a good start this season, though, Brian O'Neill. He had to play a lot early as a rookie, and they were trying to bring him along slower. He's added some heft and some power, and he's probably been their most consistent offensive lineman in the early going.
Cousins checks off. Draw play. Dalvin Cook, good hold. Back to the original line of scrimmage, midfield. Bring up a 2nd and 10. David Mayo on the stop.
This David Mayo, who they picked up in the offseason. He had been with the Carolina Panthers for 4 years, went to San Francisco, got cut in preseason, and watch him play off of, look how he sheds Ham, the blocker, number 30. And look at, not only does he go and make the tackle, he tries to strip the ball from Dalvin Cook.
Cook, good haul, and a chance to go a long way. Buffet trying to get up to him and takes him out of bounds inside the 10. A great run by Dalvin Cook to the 9-yard line. 41-yard run.
All right, let's take a look at these guys right here, that offensive line. Look at what they're doing. Look at right there. Look at that. Boom. Josh Klein, 64. Welcome back to the lineup. And linemen, they won't tell you this very often, but they love to get out and run. I remember seeing an old NFL films tape of Gene Upshaw, an all-time guard. Man, I love to get downfield and run over those DBs.
Vikings have put up some big plays. Here's Cousins to the end zone. Thielen with the catch. Touchdown. He went against the rookie DeAndre Baker, and Thielen beat him.
And Kirk Cousins understands Adam Thielen as well, because look where he put the football. DeAndre Baker's down low trying to make a play, and look at him catch it. The knees are down in the end zone. He possessed the football, and look at that. Did you see that in the end zone? The official on the spot eyeballed that the entire way through. Excellent positioning, and nice job with the call, and Kirk Cousins fired up.
Kirk Cousins is having himself a day.
How about that positioning of the football, though, Sam? He put it up there for Thielen, let him go get it.
Another touchdown pass for Kirk Cousins. Another touchdown catch for Adam Thielen.
How about this route running by Adam Thielen right there? Because he's going to run against DeAndre Baker, number 27 in blue. But watch how he sells it. To the outside, 1, 2, to create space and separation, and then cuts inside, and a beautifully thrown ball by Cousins to go up high when Baker was going low. But that's the patience in route running, Sam.
Yeah.
Not just give him one step and let the DB stay with you. Sell the route to create the separation to get yourself free.
Giants will start from the 25, trailing the Vikings 25-10. This Wednesday, from the Olympics to the Super Bowl, these celebrity singers come from everywhere. And this week will be the most stunning performance yet. Who will be unmasked? Find out right here on Fox.
Didn't Terry Bradshaw get unmasked last year? Is he going to come back for a repeat appearance?
He could.
Who knows, right?
He could.
See, I'm thinking Tony Gonzalez goes in Wales this year. See, I think TG goes in there.
Giants need to come right back. Vikings scoring quickly. A 6-play, 67-yard drive.
Set! We're waiting! What hot?
Eli Penny, a big back, gets up to the 29. We go to Carissa Thompson for an update.
Thanks, Sam. Panthers up 21-17 over the Jags when Kyle Allen will hand it off to Christian McCaffrey, who will do the rest. 84 yards for this score. He's got 3 on the day so far. Panthers up 28-17. Sam?
McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook are 1-2 in the NFL in rushing. McCaffrey, with that long run, kept the lead. But Cook has had a big day, too.
And Carissa, they said McCaffrey couldn't run inside.
Oh, yeah?
I actually thought he could. I actually got one right.
2nd and 6. Jones puts it up deep for Shepard. And incomplete. Great effort by Sterling Shepard.
It's a beautiful throw and a good route. And where Xavier Rhodes wins, though, is he leaves him no room to come down. Watch how he's pushing him to the sideline. See, where this ball's thrown, there's just not enough room to, even if he makes the catch, it's going to be difficult to get his feet down. So Rhodes finds the ball late. It could have been a completion. Look at Shepard looking outside of the ear hole.
Oh, man.
But he just didn't leave him enough room, Sam.
We have a medical timeout on the field.
Well, Sterling Shepard missed a game early this year because of concussion, and I think that the athletic trainer in the booth buzzed down and said, "Let's take another look at him," especially when we saw the helmet.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. Seems to be okay, but he'll get checked out on the sideline. We had a concussion earlier. Wayne Gallman, the Giants running back, out of the game with a concussion.
And I don't know that we've done enough justice to their Saquon Barkley, unable to play today. Wouldn't be surprised if he plays Thursday at New England with his rapid return that Jay Glazer documented in our pregame show. But what I was saying about Gallman, I don't know that we've done enough justice to them losing him today. Because of last week, 63 yards rushing, 55 yards receiving. Now it's changed the dynamics of the offense and what Pat Shurmur can call, because John Hillman's not the same player. And now you got to go to Eli Penny as your third guy who can possibly run some of your running back plays.
3rd and 6 for the Giants.
Daytona. Ready. One hot. 118. 118. Hot.
Vikings jumped across. Everson Griffin, number 97.
And he has a propensity for that, and they played too, and I think they got him. It's about Griffin. He will be the guy that might jump for you.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 97. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
This will make it a 3rd and 1 for the Giants.
They had him in the stranglehold of the 3rd down, which the Vikings love, and now they open up the playbook for the Giants on 3rd and 1. And at this stage of the game, it could very well be 2-down territory if they don't get it and don't lose a lot of yardage because of them trying to chase down this tough Vikings defense. I know it's 3rd quarter, but Sam, you know they took the points off the board before in terms of the field goal. They know they need touchdowns.
Another quarterback sneak for Daniel Jones, and he's got the 1st down. 2nd time they've run the quarterback sneak on 3rd and a yard. He picks it up, and the Giants maintain possession. Vikings with a 15-point lead, and the rookie Daniel Jones doesn't have much of a running game to work with.
Almost non-existent at this point. So now he's got to maneuver it other ways, and what Pat Shurmur's tried to do, and look how quickly they get to the line of scrimmage.
Off the play fake, Jones rolling, looking downfield, and throws it away.
Smart play by the youngster. But because they don't have a running game, Pat Shurmur's trying to manipulate it with some screens, right? With some wide receiver runs, with Shepard and Ingram coming back on the jet sweeps. He's tried to manipulate it that way since he doesn't have a lead back now. The thing, I know it's Golden Tate's 1st game back, but they have not found him enough in this game. I have not seen enough to give him, because remember, his yards after catch is big.
Just 1 catch for 5 yards in the game for Golden Tate, returning after a 4-game suspension. Jones with time, puts it up deep for Latimer, and it's incomplete.
And there should
be a late flag.
Yeah, I was wondering when it was coming.
Double coverage on the play. Trey Waynes was there and may have held him.
Yeah, he never found the football, and he put his hands on him. See, Waynes, he's looking directly into Latimer, and he looks back late, but his hands are in there, and his body's in there early. And I was wondering when the flag was going to come. And Latimer still almost caught it. How well thrown was that football?
Pass interference. Defense, number 26. Ball in place at the spot of the foul. 1st down, New York.
I mean, that ball could not have been thrown any better. He put it right between the 1 and the 2, despite the interference. And Trey Waynes never finds the ball well enough to make that play and runs into the receiver.
Trey Waynes upset, talking, and a challenge flag is thrown out by Mike Zimmer, challenging the call of defensive pass interference.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. Minnesota will be charged with its 1st timeout.
Mike Zimmer obviously upset with the call. Dean Blandino's in our command center. Dean, what do you think?
Yeah, look, there's contact before the ball arrives. Waynes looks like he turns right at the last second, but he's into the body of the receiver, and the league has been very consistent. When the flag is down on the field, it's a very high standard to overturn.
Yeah, Dean, I think Zim just threw that flag because he just doesn't like that type of a call, but there's no chance that was being overturned.
Off the play fake, Jones throws, and it's incomplete. Big hit on Evan Ingram by Harrison Smith, and the ball popped loose, incomplete.
Harrison Smith almost turned this into an interception for Minnesota. Watch 22 play through the body of 88. There's the hit there. Ball pops free, and it's right in the hands of Eric Kendricks. who's unable to haul it in.
Most.
Look at the hit by Smith. And look what he does, Sam. He doesn't come in head first. Shoulder, turns the body, and tries to drive through the receiver. Textbook for 2019 NFL.
That penalty on the Vikings, by the way, was a 37-yard penalty. Giants at the Vikings 27, 2nd and 10. Jones, screen pass to Eli Penny. He's got some room. Across the 20 and dives forward to the 18. He's about a yard short of the first down.
But give Pat Shurmur credit, because what you're getting here is the screen pass. And what I mean by give him credit, this is their running game. You know, they've really pretty much abandoned handing it to their backs. So how do you manipulate it and get it going to essay what would be a running game? The screens, the jet sweeps. Pat Shurmur's pulling out all the tricks.
Hilliman and Penny in the backfield on 3rd and 1. Hilliman, and he's got the first down at the 16-yard line. Giants keep the drive going. Late 3rd quarter. Vikings with a 25-10 lead. Tate and Shepard come back on for the Giants. Giants have had 2 long possessions now in this 3rd quarter. Slayton and Shepard to the right. Ingram and Tate to the left. Jones with time, throws too far for Golden Tate. Flag on the play. He was covered by Xavier Rhodes.
There's Tate going to run an out and up, and Rhodes is in good position. And Tate essentially runs into him, but the officials are going to say that Rhodes was impeding his progress to the
Illegal
end zone.
contact, defense, number 29. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Remember, he's outside of the 5-yard contact rule, the bump rule. And watch Rhodes, though. Watch Rhodes, because he knows this is coming, and he stays deep, okay, and then he's right there, and now look how he throws his hands up in the air to say, I'm not holding him. Goes against him anyway.
Sorry, Charles. 1st and 10 from the 11. The short pass to the former Viking, Red Ellison. And the pickup down to the 8-yard line. A pickup of 3 on the play. Earlier in this quarter, Giants had the ball 1st and goal at the 5. Could not push it in. Settled for a field goal. Ellison stays in as the 2nd tight end.
They're going fast again after the line of scrimmage.
Shepard motions. Eli Penny straight ahead down to the 3-yard line.
How about that? They carried that surge from the huddle to this front, and watch them get forward and get on top of these white shirts. Pretty picture there from this offensive line. Zeitler 70, 74 Remmers, the former Viking at right tackle, giving a little space to Penny, 39. I call 4-down territory when they're deep in their own territory. I don't change it here at all.
There's 3rd and goal from the 3. Penny in the backfield with Daniel Jones. Quick toss to the corner. Incomplete. Well covered by Trey Waynes was Evan Ingram.
They like the matchup with Ingram's size over Waynes, but what Waynes does early is get inside the frame of Ingram and makes it, he just closes things down so fast that the official going to let you play a little bit more in this spot. Because a lot of people are saying, what's the difference between that and what he did before? They got right into it early, and the officials let them fight it out on their own. That's what happened there.
4th and goal for the Giants as they go for it. Excuse me, it's 4th and 3. They can get 4th and 2. They can get a first down at the 1. On 4th down, Jones in trouble. They got him. He is sacked back at the 15. Danielle Hunter again. His 2nd of the game, his 5th of the season.
So Watch Hunter 99, but it's not just him. Look at the linebackers creeping up into the gaps. So they created a numbers game. Too many white shirts, not enough blue shirts to block them, and Hunter was able to get to him with some help. Look at Kendricks forcing him right into Hunter. This is why if this Vikings offense can take today and continue to move on, they're going to be a tough team to deal with. Because that defense,
it's pretty strong.
That defense is really strong. Remember, they lost to the Bears. What was the final score? 16-6?
Yep.
Wasn't like the defense had a bad day.
No. Defense has been solid for the Vikings this season. Cousins is sacked. There's a flag on the play. He is brought down at the 5-yard line by Marcus Golden. Golden leads the Giants. That would be 4.5 sacks for him.
Holding. Offense, number 65. Plays half the distance to the goal line. Replay first down.
Pat Elflein is called.
Marcus Golden really rounding into form. Had the knee injury in 2017. Came back in 18, but wasn't quite himself. He looks like the Marcus Golden we saw in 2016, had 12.5 sacks for Arizona. And he plays with his motor wide open.
We've reached the end of the third quarter. The Vikings maintain the lead. It's 25-10. We are back. The Vikings offense has been outstanding and led by their passing game.
They needed a big game from Kirk Cousins and their receivers, and they're getting it. The numbers have really jumped up. In fact, they've tried to throw the ball on first down deep in their own territory here.
Back to the 5-yard line. On the run is the rookie Alexander Madison. Antoine Bethea on the tackle up at the 16-yard line, a gain of 11 on the play. Bring up a third down. They have to get to the 22-yard line for a first down.
See if the Giants can get some pressure here. They got them deep in their own territory. If they can hold them here and force a punt, get some good field position to start the fourth quarter, that would be big.
There's Kirk Cousins, who is 21 for 25, 286 yards in the game. Cousins fires, and it's deflected away. The rookie DeAndre Baker with a coverage on Adam Thielen.
Thielen thought he was there early, but that looked like good coverage to me. The rookie out of Georgia, who's steadily getting better week after week. Watch 27 in blue. He sees the quarterback through Adam Thielen. You notice how he was able to see the drop of Cousins and break on the football quickly. Well done by the youngster.
First 3 and out for the Vikings in the game.
So I was a little bit surprised they threw the ball on first down there with Mike Zimmer, 25-10 lead, clock. And that actually helped the Giants cause in a big way. Clock stopped multiple times on that possession.
Golden Tate back deep for the Giants on the return. Gets outside. Good return by Golden Tate up close to the 45. A little pushing and shoving on the sideline. For that quarterback, that was Phil Simms, 1979 when he was a rookie. He stepped in, and he was the last Giants rookie quarterback to win 2 in a row until Mr. Jones. Phil actually won his first 4.
Not bad for a kid out of Morehead State. It was received similar to Daniel Jones. People weren't real thrilled with that selection.
That ball pops in the air. Diving effort by Hughes, but it's incomplete. Mike Hughes has been involved in a couple of close plays.
Certainly has, Sam. As you just noted, second time today he's had a chance for an interception. Came up just short. Great effort there. Mike Hughes, and I noticed one thing about Mike Hughes today. Look at his knees. No brace. He started the season still wearing the knee brace from the injury last year. He wanted to shed it a while ago. The physicians and the trainers wouldn't let him. He's out here today running free once again.
He was inactive the first 2 games of the season, his 3rd game back. Daniel Jones off the fake, avoids the rush, throws deep for Ingram, but Ingram had stepped out of bounds. Would have been an incomplete pass anyway. Let's get an update from Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Sam. So the Bears were down by as much as 17 at one point, but Chase Daniel will find Allen Robinson for the 16-yard score, his second of the day. The Bears now lead the Raiders 21-17. Sam?
Do you think they know how to sing Bear Down?
In London?
I bet they do. I'll bet people across the pond. Thanks, Carissa.
Thanks, Carissa, for the update. Here's a third down for the Giants. 3rd and 10. Jones fires and complete. Good catch by Shepard. A beauty. And it's a first down for the Giants at the Vikings 38-yard line.
That was an absolute dart by the rookie from Duke. But look at the route by Shepard as well. And look at the courage as he goes into where there's a bit of traffic and knows the hit is coming. Yet still goes up, catches it, takes the shot, puts it away, and picks up a key first down for the Giants. Sterling Shepard, tough as they come.
Shepard with his 5th catch of the game. He's had 7 in the previous 2 games, 7 apiece. Pressure on Jones. He throws for Ingram. He couldn't hold on. Double coverage on the play. Anthony Harris popped it loose.
Yeah, Chris Boyd's on the outside, but I think you nailed it, Sam. Watch Anthony Harris, 41 in white, coming from inside out. Ingram's got a chance, and then Harris puts the body on him and doesn't allow him to bring the ball to his chest. Playing with a sore quad, hurt it against the Bears, made it back this week. He may be a step behind what he normally is, but he knows how to get to the right spot.
Eli Penny straight ahead. Gets down to the 32-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play. 3rd year back out of University of Idaho. Started his NFL career in Arizona. This is 2nd season with the Giants.
He must feel like he's back in Arizona today, because with the Cardinals, he got 31 carries.
There's Saquon Barkley.
They need him back in a big way, because he.
Charles said he's close. We watched him. He's in practice. He's close.
Would not be surprised at all if he plays on Thursday. If he doesn't, they're just going to err on the side of caution with him.
3rd down. All receivers out. Penny with the grab. There's a flag. 2 flags down in the Giants' backfield as Jones got knocked down on the play. Penny was taken down just short of the first down marker.
I'm not sure how they're going to call this, but Daniel Jones is one tough young man.
Holding. Offense, number 76. A 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down. There is no roughing the passer on that play because the defensive player was held into the quarterback's low leg.
Nice explanation by Clete Blakeman, the official, to tell us why. That's why Pat Shurmur's upset. But what I mean by how Daniel Jones is a tough guy, so watch Solder here, right there, 76, okay? There's the hold, but watch what Daniel Jones is taking right there. He's getting taken down by the ankles, inside by Odenigbo, and roaring down like a freight train off the edge as well. Stood right in there and delivered.
Ball back to the 42-yard line. Giants have to get to the 28 for a first down. Pressure on Jones. Steps up and throws and completes it for a first down to Darius Slayton. And the rookie is having a good game for the Giants. Chris Boyd was covering on the play.
Well, how about these guys? They pick up the blitz because Harrison Smith came as a safety blitz. And look at how Jones stepped up, climbs the pocket, and throws an absolute strike. Darius Slayton really coming of age as a rookie receiver. Not just a deep vertical threat today, making nice moves that time to the outside for a monster first down.
Slayton 4 catches, 62 yards, 22 yards on that pickup. On first down, it's Penny. Bouncing it outside, breaks a couple of tackles. There's a flag on the play. Back at the 23-yard line, strong run by Eli Penny.
Holding. Offense, number 88. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That's Evan Ingram.
Yeah, the line judge Tom Simonette detected that one. Look at Jones. He's looking, so you know zone read is in there for the quarterback. Hands it inside, but look right there. See the hand? Doesn't seem like much there, but there's a hand inside as well on Danielle Hunter. And that's what Tom Simonette detected and threw the flag.
Ball back to the 35-yard line. 1st and 20 for the Giants.
That's too bad because Evan Ingram has really jumped up his game blocking.
Yeah.
Ryan Kerrigan from Washington actually told him after the game, boy, you've really improved in that area.
Jones throws on 1st down to Ingram, who's out of bounds at the 30. A pickup of 5 on the play. Giants down by 15. This is a must score for them. They've wasted a couple of opportunities in the second half. They've been deep in Vikings territory a couple of times and come away with only 3 points.
Hard to maneuver against that Vikings defense. They make you be very precise in everything you do, but they've had their opportunities, as you've noted.
The handoff to John Hilliman, and a good run inside the 25 down to the 23. First half, time of possession was dominated by the Vikings. Second half, it's been the Giants' ball, but the Giants, as we mentioned, haven't put the points on the board.
Good point. Good point. No pun intended there, Sam. That's exactly what the difference is. Vikings went to the locker room disappointed. They only had 18 points in the first half, but they had 18 points. It's here in the second half. The Giants haven't been able to put that number up themselves.
Giants have to get to the 15 for a 1st down. 3rd down play. Jones in trouble, and he's wrapped up by Griffin. Everson Griffin comes strong for the defensive end position, and it's the 4th sack of the game for the Vikings.
So watch Griffin. There he is coming off the edge, work against Nate Solder. Nice spin move back inside and right into the sight line of Daniel Jones. Everson Griffin last year ended up missing 5 games, had to leave the team for personal reasons, but he's got his bounce back. He's got his joy back. That looks like the guy went to the Pro Bowl 3 straight years at one point.
4th down for the Giants. They have to get to the 15 for a 1st down. 4th and 12. Jones throwing for the end zone, and it is incomplete. Intended for Sterling Shepard, covered by Mike Hughes. Hughes has stepped in and has done well for the Vikings. He breaks up this touchdown try by the Giants. Giants have challenged for no call for defensive pass interference.
Yeah, they want to get the call on this one. And this is almost like a Hail Mary. And how are we going to see that judged? But it's just one-on-one. And it's got to be clear and obvious, right?
Right.
There's no chance this gets overturned.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as call. New York will be charged with a timeout, either second timeout.
Let's check in with Dean
Excuse me, their
Blandino
first
in our
time.
command center. Dean, what'd you see on that play?
Yeah, I'm like you guys. There's definitely contact before the ball arrives, but it happens so quickly. The defensive player is playing the football. Does he prevent Shepard from getting his arms up? Is it clear that Shepard can't get his arms up to make that catch? It wasn't clear, and that's why the call on the field stood.
Hey, Dean, I think that was Pat Shurmur's definition of his own Hail Mary. He's got to try and get something done here, take a chance, and hope the call gets overturned because they don't get many possessions left in this game.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Dean. Vikings take over on downs at the 27-yard line with a 15-point lead. Kirk Cousins with a big day. Dalvin Cook has had a big game as he goes over 100 yards rushing. And the receivers have had great games. Well, especially Thielen. Early in the game, Diggs caught a couple of balls and was smiling, but the day has belonged to Adam Thielen with 2 touchdown receptions at 130 yards.
Yeah, and it's exactly what you would expect, but I will say this, tongue-in-cheek, if I'm a Vikings receiver now, do I come out in the paper and say I'm not getting the ball enough, or we're not doing that, and can I go on Kirk Cousins' podcast and sit next to him, and maybe the next game I get the football?
It's all about winning, right,
It's
Charles?
all about winning. But you know there's going to be a lot of good-natured joking next week. If this score holds up for the Vikings, they will be teasing Thielen, and everybody's going to say, hey, Kurt, Is there any way I can come on your podcast? Because if I'm Kyle Rudolph, I might come out after the game and say, hey, I want the ball too.
This was what Adam Thielen said to reporters in the locker room. At some point, you're not going to be able to run the ball for 180 yards, even with the best running back in the NFL. That's when you have to be able to throw the deep ball.
And he's not wrong about that. Everything about it is correct. The problem is what the firestorm that ensued after that now engulfs the entire team.
Cousins on third down. He's got a man wide open, and breaking away is Diggs. There's a flag back at the 25-yard line. Diggs fighting his way up toward midfield. But let's check out the penalty. And the Vikings pointing toward the Giants.
And how about that effort by Stephon Diggs? James Betcher not enjoying that at all, the defensive coordinator of the Giants. The effort by Diggs was really impressive. And Peter Schrager said on our NFL kickoff show, the Vikings have said, we're not trading him. Okay, people can call, but they plan for him to be a Viking.
Not a guy with that kind of talent.
So get comfortable with it.
Got a high five from his quarterback.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense, number 53. That penalty's declined. Yardage gained is enough for a first down.
That's on O'Shane Zimenez, the pass rusher from the outside.
Look, he may have missed some practices in the last 2 weeks. He's not extremely happy about things, but you can't question his competitiveness.
He got fined some big money.
Big money, but look at this. That's chump change for you, though, Sam. I mean, that's just pocket change. But look at what he does, continuing to traverse downfield. If that guy's unhappy catching the football, sign me up to throw it to him because he gained extra yardage on that one.
I'll make my pockets deeper and fill them up with that change. 20-yard pickup for the Vikings. First down at midfield. Dalvin Cook swings it outside. And he picks up 5 yards. Time for a game break, and let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
We'll keep doing that NFC North, NFC East thing with America's Game of the Week as Ezekiel Elliott, Aaron Rodgers, and Dak Prescott lead a star-studded cast as the Cowboys host the Green Bay Packers. It's America's Game of the Week when you guys are done there at the Meadowlands. Always great to throw it back to Sam Rosen.
Thanks, Kurt. Oh, man. And that's a good game coming up. But 2 3-1 teams.
You know what I didn't realize? I saw it in our pregame show. That Green Bay's won 7 of the last 8 against Dallas.
Ooh.
I had no idea.
On second down, it's Cook again. Big hole, big run by Dalvin Cook. He picks up 19 on the play. 143 yards rushing in the game.
Watch in the middle the rookie Garrett Bradbury handle the tilted nose so he can't get there. He's trying to reach, and look at how he got out there. And there was no way at that point that R.J. McIntosh could get over into the play. Excellent job by the rookie. Remember early in the game he struggled with a little bit of power? On that play he adjusted big time and opened up the gates for Dalvin Cook.
I want to correct myself. 124 yards rushing. 86 yards receiving. What a game for Dalvin Cook. And this one is Alexander Madison, the rookie, carrying. Late flag comes in. Time winding down. The Vikings bouncing back. They have had alternate good games and bad games. And when they're good, they are really good.
Almost like we're starting a nursery story, aren't we? When good, very good. When bad, horrid. But not today. And that offensive line, Dalvin Cook and he's going to be the first one. There's his running backs coach to his left, Kennedy Polamalu. But he's going to be the first one to thank these guys and congratulate them on a big, big day. You know what their Vikings line calls this when they're running it this well?
No.
Pounding the beef. They are
2
doing it
fouls
well.
against the offense on the play. Illegal block in the back, number 81. That penalty's declined. Holding, number 56. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
On the center, Garrett Bradbury.
Didn't I just give him some love?
Absolutely.
And that's how he pays me back.
He's still learning. He's a rook.
There's a reason they got him in the first round. How about this guy, Sam?
Career day. 210 yards from scrimmage. That is a great day's work for Dalvin Cook. 6th career 100-yard rushing game for Dalvin Cook.
Still remember in preseason, we worked their Minnesota-Seattle game, and I saw Kennedy Polamalu. And I said, hey, this rookie Madison, he's pretty good, Alexander Madison. He said, yeah. He said, but don't forget about 33.
Right. Ball back at the 35. It's Cook. And you know what I like about him, Charles, is he'll run inside, he'll run outside. He's got the great cuts. He's a real good-looking back.
By all accounts, this is a kid who not just loves the game, but understands what they're doing offensively. Always in his playbook. You know, one of those guys where no matter what the situation, he can be on the field because he's ready to execute.
Vikings controlling the ball and bringing the clock down. 4:40 to go and the clock moving. Vikings will play home against Philadelphia next Sunday. And Cook tried to bounce it outside. The Giants covered well. Marcus Golden in on the stop. Giants defense last week had a good day against a team that really struggling, the Washington Redskins. Not as good today. We'll be right back. Aerial coverage is brought to you by State Farm. And the coverage by our crew has been excellent as usual. Third down at the 31-yard line. Inside handoff. Dalvin Cook is brought down at the 27. And a timeout. Giants have used up all their timeouts. With 4:13 to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back after this message from Hulu. Dan Bailey on to attempt his third field goal of the game. He's 2 for 2. This one from 45 yards out. Britton Colquitt is the holder. Austin Cutting, the rookie, is the long snapper. And the kick on the way is true. Good kick by Dan Bailey. The Vikings add to their lead. It's 28-10 with just over 4 minutes to go. Vikings scored on their first possession, a field goal, but they added to it. And they were up 18-7 at the half. They added to that in the third quarter. That was Dan Bailey's fourth field goal of the game. And the Vikings with a comfortable 28-10 lead.
At least that Yankees fan is going to be happy. That cap there going with the Giants jersey.
Yankees will be in Minnesota tomorrow. The long kick, and it's being returned by Corey Ballantyne, who had a great return in the first half. This one is brought down at the 18. A lot of Minnesota-New York interaction in baseball. It's the American League Division Series. And if you drove up to Yankee Stadium, there were games Friday night and last night. Not a good night for Minnesota either night. But here today, Minnesota has dominated play in the New York metropolitan area.
They got a little revenge. My man's covering it all right there. He's got the Yankees cap, a blue shirt of the Rangers. Hey, they're 2-0, right?
Good start.
Big win last night against Ottawa.
Daniel Jones throws it out to Golden Tate, who makes the catch and steps out of bounds. Giants have had the ball a good deal here in the second half, but haven't made the most of it.
Well, they've got things to build on, Sam. Look at, they're moving the football. Look at the yardage, right? The problem is not able to get into the end zone. You know, this is a very stout Vikings defense, but I think they're growing as an offense, and this young quarterback certainly is, even though that one is a tough one.
He got hit, but he got rid of it, and it's caught by Golden Tate with back-to-back catches. Trey Waynes covering on the play. It's a 3rd and 2 for the Giants. Jones looking, and that is incomplete. Try to get it to Evan Engram, and he was well covered by Anthony Barr. Barr has had himself a good game. He's been involved in getting to the quarterback, and his coverage has been strong as well.
He's that piece of the puzzle that Mike Zimmer absolutely loves because he can use him in every which way. Stephon Diggs, much happier with this ball game. But what I mean by that with Barr is if you want to blitz him, you blitz him. If you want to drop him in coverage, he does that, as we just saw there. Stout against the run. He can do everything, and he's their defensive signal caller.
Giants go for it on 4th down. Last gasp, and the pass is intercepted. Anthony Barr picks it off, intended for Golden Tate, and Barr just caps off what's been a strong game for the Minnesota Vikings defense.
Look at Barr right there, and he's got this thing covered. Sees it the entire way. Never has to waver on it. In fact, he didn't take a retreat step. He didn't take a jab step. He just stayed with it, saw the throw, and extended that big frame to haul one in. Sam Rosen, you're exactly right. Anthony Barr has indeed had a day.
Tough one for the rookie, but the learning experience goes on for Daniel Jones and the Giants. The rookie Alexander Mattison, 220-pound back from Boise State, 3rd-round draft pick. He's got good quickness. He gets to the hole in a hurry.
And he brings some thump with him too. I watched him on tape against Fresno State in the Mountain West Championship game in the snow in Boise. Put 200 yards on him that day. So the kid's got some stamina as well. There's Rick Spielman, general manager of the Vikings. Has to feel great after the last week and a half that he and the organization have had, with all the things bubbling around. Stephon Diggs not practicing. You know, Kirk Cousins, will he win a big game? Adam Thielen not getting the ball. They've got to feel a lot better about what's going on now as they get ready for Philadelphia at home next week.
Madison stumbling on the play, was taken down by Tawaefa on the play. Now what the Vikings have to do is go back home and play a strong game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Time winding down here in the 4th quarter, with the Vikings leading 28-10. Stay right here with Fox. After this game, we've got the State Farm Game Break show, and then America's Game of the Week, Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers.
Can't wait for that one. I'm excited to see it because Green Bay, well, up to that undefeated start, you know where they got tested? In the run game. Here comes Zeke Elliott. Look about today.
Look at today.
Numbers. Dalvin Cook, 218 total yards. The Giants, 211 total yards themselves. Season low for them.
And throw in the game that Kirk Cousins has played. That's Alexander Mattison, who was pulled down by Tawaefa. Josiah Tawaefa getting a chance to play in his first NFL game. Kirk Cousins, you see the record against teams with winning records and teams 500 and under. Today they took advantage of the Giants, a 500 team, but they've got tough teams coming up.
Well, that mirrors what Mike Zimmer has said before the season. And you see the Eagles next week. Then they go to the Lions, who have proven themselves to be a very good team here in the early going. So their schedule doesn't get much easier.
Breaking through is Madison, and he is brought down inside the 5-yard line. Alexander Mattison with a strong run.
Look at Zim. Finally can exhale. What a week, huh? What a week. But you remember what Zim said in the preseason? He said, we got to get back to beating the good teams in this league.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to get ourselves back to the playoffs. Pat Shurmur, I don't think all's lost here in New York by any stretch. This team plays hard for him. They kept themselves in the game in the first half when Minnesota was dominating it, made some plays on defense to get that done. This young quarterback's going to continue to grow, and the offense going to come along. I think they're making the right steps here in New York. They're just not ready yet for Minnesota.
A good day for Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings as they come in and beat the Giants 28-10. Mike Zimmer and the Vikings are 3-2. They head home to play the Eagles next Sunday. The Giants fall to 2-3. They play the New England Patriots Thursday night. And we are getting ready to send you to London for the Bears and the Oakland Raiders.
Don't even need a ticket for that one.
Ooh, I like that.
Go without it. Big ball game for that young man right there, and that was one he sorely needed. Adam Thielen get a lot of credit, but Kirk Cousins really showed his team some stuff today, I thought, how he threw the football.
They took advantage of Giants' weak spots. Giants without 3 starting linebackers. Giants had another injury at running back with Wayne Gallman going down. Couldn't run the football. When they had the opportunities, they didn't cash in. The Vikings did. And there's Thielen with his former offensive coordinator, Pat Shermer. Coming up, State Farm Game Break.